Born in 1887 in Erode, Tamil Nadu, Ramanujan grew up in the town of Kumbakonam. His father was a clerk in a sari shop. He began filling notebooks with his own original discoveries, often skipping steps because the result seemed revealed to him by his family deity, the goddess Namagiri Thaya. Because Ramanujan was so obsessed with mathematics, he neglected all other subjects. He failed his college exams twice and lost his scholarships, leaving him in extreme poverty. He lived on the verge of starvation, wandering the streets of Madras with his notebooks under his arm, looking for someone who could understand the complexity of his work. In 1912, he found a job as a clerk at the Madras Port Trust. His boss, Sir Francis Spring, and colleague S. Narayana Iyer recognized his genius and encouraged him to write to mathematicians in England. After being ignored by several professors, Ramanujan's letter reached G. H. Hardy at Cambridge University in 1913. The letter contained pages of wild-looking formulas involving infinite series and continued fractions. Hardy initially thought the letter was a fraud. However, upon closer inspection with his colleague J. E. Littlewood, he realized the formulas were incredible. Hardy famously remarked that Ramanujan's theorems must be true because, if they were not true, no one would have the imagination to invent them. Hardy invited Ramanujan to Trinity College, Cambridge. Despite his strict Brahmin upbringing which forbade traveling across the ocean, Ramanujan eventually made the journey in 1914. The partnership between Hardy and Ramanujan became one of the most productive in history. Ramanujan made monumental contributions to partition theory, modular forms which later became foundational to string theory, infinite series for pi. In 1918, he became one of the youngest fellows of the Royal Society and the first Indian to be elected a Fellow of Trinity College. Perhaps the most famous anecdote from this time is the story of the number 1729. While Ramanujan was ill in a hospital, Hardy visited him and mentioned he had arrived in a taxi with the dull number 1729. Ramanujan immediately replied, "No, Hardy. It is a very interesting number. It is the smallest number expressible as the sum of two cubes in two different ways." The cold English weather and the difficulty of maintaining a strict vegetarian diet during World War I took a toll on Ramanujan's health. He contracted tuberculosis or possibly hepatic amoebiasis and returned to India in 1919. Even on his deathbed, he continued to work. His last letter to Hardy described Mach theta functions, a concept that baffled mathematicians for 90 years until it was finally explained in the context of black holes and quantum physics in the 21st century. Ramanujan passed away in 1920 at the age of 32. He left behind 3 notebooks and a lost notebook found in 1976 filled with thousands of results that continue to inspire researchers today.